Hey guys, welcome back to this. It's a special episode. It is. It's a great day, and today it is a good episode. It's something that we didn't think was going to happen last week.
No.
Being able to pit these two cars against each other, it was a rush to get this thing ready. And I've got to say, man, it's come together much better than we expected.
Much better than I expected, particularly at the roll racing event that we went to on the weekend.
Well, actually, the video's just gone live. I hope you've seen it yet. If you haven't, please click up in the corner, whichever corner it is. I always get it wrong. But we'll put a link to that because you had the time of your life. It looked awesome.
It was brilliant. And the reason why these two cars aren't in the videos is because the outcome was...
not what we were expecting.
No, and it all sort of unfolded to my surprise.
And maybe satisfaction. Yeah, I guess a little bit of background. We try and plan our videos, although it probably doesn't look like it, and we'd been wanting, ever since David got that car, we'd wanted to have an M54 versus S62 race in 2020. And this was going to be the last chance for it to happen. It was an absolute mad rush to prep. You had problems last week. You had fuel pump issues. He had the intake temp sensor a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't tuned until, well, you tuned it that morning.
Literally a few hours before we left to go roll racing. So it's all a mad rush, and nothing was, well, that's partly why it's been such a big surprise, because everything just kind of sort of fell into place at the very last minute.
And if you've been following along, like, we time a lot of cars. We've timed my car a million times, and even all the drives we've been doing on Dave's car, whether it was tuned, it's got problems or whatever, we've normally got the draggy running, and we're just keeping an eye on 60 to 120, see how it's accelerating, seeing how fast it is, that sort of stuff. And even all the research you'd done on ESS tuned S62s,
all over the world,
we weren't really expecting this to be much of a battle.
Not since those hybrids went on. That car, it went into the next level of car above these older generation, and this power level is M5.
And what that means, like a 1 to 2 on my cars in the 6s, and a 1 to 2 on those cars are in the 10s. So, I mean, it's a hell of a lot faster.
Yeah.
You just expect it, well, I expect it to just win.
But that's the thing about roll racing. You have to start from 40 k's an hour. So it's not just a matter of just having 1,000 horsepower and going and win the race. There's a little bit of car setup comes into play a lot. And you've also got to drive the car as well.
Can I start making excuses yet?
Go for it.
Okay, so another reason that the results might not have gone how we initially thought was I didn't prep my car last week. If you've been following the channel, I have got a few things to fit to this to help it hook up. And I thought, you know what? I should probably give the S62 all the chance it could get. And we didn't focus on anything on my car last week. And I think even in the build up to roll racing, I even got in my car and said, this car hasn't had enough love. But we were rushing to get this thing ready. And far out, it's a killer.
Luckily we got there though.
Anyway, so we'd planned to actually build these into the main two videos, but because Dave's car turns out to be a hell of a lot quicker than what we expected, it didn't end up going in there. Also, both of those videos ended up at sort of 25 minutes long. So with this shenanigans going on, they would have been like 35-minute videos. So what we did discuss, because we were thinking my car was going to be so much faster, when we got to the track, we had this little conversation, which we'll put in now. So, Dave, it's nearly race time.
Yeah, we were just having a quick chat. We're heading out. I'm going to race Scott first, but then after you're going to race Declan, you're going to line up and finally race your N54 with your big Chinese turbos against my old classic.
Yes, your very expensive car against my very budget car, and see how they go. However, we've got a bit of an inkling that the ethanol-breathing China beast is probably going to take the S62
a little bit,
especially as it's doing 1 to 2s in 4 seconds faster,
nearly half the time.
Yeah. But what if I give you the jump? So you get the full launch, and your car launches way better than mine does
for like a second.
But will that second be enough? Will I be able to reel you back in?
You're right. You got to give me a decent jump though.
All right.
I'm gonna, when they say you can go, I'm just gonna go flat out. I'm just gonna I'll take the racing line around that last turn, and then I'll be gone.
All right, let's see if we can reel it back in.
All right,
I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so yeah, that's what we'd sort of planned. And actually, that was inspired a bit by Mr. Hoonicorn himself. We've been watching a lot of his races lately, and his thing just wallops everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty much Ken Block in my M54. I'm gonna wallop Dave. But we did think it was gonna be a bit closer at the finish line. My car's a little bit down on power to what it was last roll racing. We didn't really know how fast yours was at that point because we hadn't done any testing with the final tune from HDE.
Hadn't even driven it, really.
Because you were just logging with HDE, you hadn't dragged with the HDE stuff either. So we didn't know how fast it was. And actually, even at that point, you hadn't really driven it, had you?
Well, I hadn't driven it through multiple gears. I'd only been simulating a dyno, really.
And I was just thinking, in both of our videos that went up, we didn't actually explain. Your car's got a dicky
fuel sender.
Fuel sender, or maybe something weird going on with the fuel sender. So basically, it'll read like good fuel to about half a tank, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when you were logging, it wasn't work. Well, it was, and then it stopped working. So you'd come back and you thought you had fuel, and then you went to start it again, and it wouldn't start.
It was out.
So that was another bit of excitement for the day. But anyway, so we'd planned to basically let Dave get the jump, and both of us should cross the line pretty close to each other, and this is what happened. So guys, it's getting to the time of the night where I can't remember what I've told you, but we're gonna give David a quick run in his M5. We're gonna let him get the hit. Like, he's gotta get the proper jump. I'm not gonna go until I hear him on full song, and we'll see how close it is. Because that last race, that was pretty close.
It was.
Oh. And the air temps have dropped significantly, so we're gonna have to work on managing the throttle a little bit. Should be fun, should be fun. It's nearly time to head out. Oh, we're gonna burn out. Maybe that's why my car doesn't hook up, because I don't do that. So we'll roll out, mash it. Oh, the bloody phone. Here we go.
I'm just praying, that's all. I'm just praying.
I feel like we've got a lot less traction. I almost feel like cheating and putting traction control on, but we won't do that. We got the beautiful sounding M5. Must remember to give him the jump.
Okay, first time back out on track, so you've got to make sure you hit traction off and sport mode. That would suck. But that's about all there is to do with this car. He's playing with boost and all that sort of stuff. In the old M5, you just punch it.
Although we better hurry up. But he outdrove me, well done to him. He got the win. Well done. Bollocks. Right, we've got to race him again now.
Mate! Okay, I don't know if you could tell on the video, but second gear, when I punched it, it started spinning up. I had to pedal it. So she's strong. HT has done some magic on this.
Just go and see his smile. Is he smiling?
Loser! 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 This isn't gonna happen ever again, so I've got to make the most of it.
Is it the face? Is it the face? Yeah, it's the face.
I'm doing the face.
Whoa. Oh, well, congratulations, Dave. Well, that was close.
Easy win. Easy win for the M5.
Dude, yeah, well, you guys have just seen it, but yeah, once he got ahead, I just couldn't reel him back in, which I was not happy about at all.
I thought the big turbos on that would start just, as it wound up, it would start, munching me.
But you got like 2 or 3 car lengths and just held it.
Yeah, and that's, I think, by the time you were on boost, this was actually in its like peak power band, and then that was it. Done.
That was, and although we'd planned to let Dave get the hit, like it wasn't like the hit in a car length. I was listening to his engine, I'm listening, instead of paying attention to the light, I'm just listening to your motor, and I can hear, you can come around the corner, you start to roll in, you're rolling in, light goes green, then it goes bop! As soon as I heard the bop, that's it. I went for it. I didn't spin up, it was a fair race, like fair what we agreed, and you won there.
Yeah, I didn't just win, I checked out.
Yeah, so that was pretty much what completely threw us off for the rest of the night and what we'd planned for the videos. We didn't think it was going to be anywhere near that that close, and they are close. Racing at roll racing, these two cars are pretty close cars. It comes a lot down to Like if I spin up, you're probably going to win.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what happened with Declan. He spun up for a bit,
and then
I got him.
It's pretty crazy. Now, I've got to be honest, we'd actually planned to do that race you just saw earlier in the day, but because of traction issues and a few other things going on in the night, when we actually lined up to race the first time where Dave was supposed to get the jump, he didn't. And so this race that you're going to see now was actually filmed before the last one, but it was supposed to be filmed after. But we'll try and play it to you guys properly. But this is it. This is the dig.
And this is
well, not the dig, but this is us.
Yeah.
An even race going at the same time. And yeah, I'm just praying I don't spin up. Dave's just praying he gets another win. Should we play it?
Roll it.
So we're about to head out to give Dave a run. So it spun up a bit better, but the whole warming tyres up I think is a bit of a lost cause. Let's see how we go.
I've seen him race. He's not very forgiving.
Wish the N54 luck. If we spin up, he's going to get us. He was there for a bit, so that was pretty much a perfect run.
Well, there you go.
And yeah, I got you back.
Yeah, it was a slightly different outcome, but to be fair, that I was sleeping a little bit at the green light, and it might even show it in the video. It definitely wasn't my perfect run of the night, that's for sure.
I think that was your second run of the night, wasn't it?
I think it was the third, actually.
Second or third. It was, I'd just raced Declan, and Declan had just nearly beaten me as well. So I was like, holy shit, I got to get my act together and actually sort this thing out. Because, again, I've been a bit lazy with the setup. I hadn't really thought about it. I'd just done a run, I think, at 22 PSI.
Yeah. When
I raced Declan the first time, and just got smashed because I was wheel spinning. In fact, I axle tramped so bad. I don't know if I told you.
Phone.
My axle tramp on that run with Declan was so harsh in second gear, which is how I snapped an axle. The phone and everything fell off the dashboard. Like, it was violent. So yeah, I basically wound my boost down and I was ready to drive the car and pedal it to perfection because I didn't want David to beat me. So I pretty much got a perfect run. You didn't get a great run.
It wasn't perfect. There's more in it, and the car was. I'd actually done a couple of consecutive runs right before that one as well, and she was a little bit heat soaked. But to be fair, it's a little bit more what we expected anyway.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting it to be that much of a gap.
Every time.
With you getting the jump.
Yeah, possibly, but it's not the case. This thing has definitely surprised me. I know it surprised you, and there were a couple of people as well coming in the pits. They were surprised an old E39 was doing what it was doing.
Yeah, and even the members that were there, like Declan, JB, and Scott, like they follow the numbers like we do as well, and they knew that this top end on a dyno doesn't make the power that the N54 is going to make. And it just goes to show that it's not all about power, especially when you're rolling, because that's a fast car.
Yep.
That's a really, really fast car.
And it makes the right soundtrack too.
I'm a little bit more nervous about roll racing next time, especially if you manage to get some cooling sorted, because even if I wind mine up to the other power, I can't put it down.
No, you're going to have to do something about that, because I am 100%, I'm sorting the charge cooling out, and also ethanol.
Yeah.
So,
bollocks.
Coming after you.
Yeah, and when I say about I can't put the power down, like Declan, who has an M2, much wider tyres, like a much better chassis than I got, he can't put his power down too. So it gets to a point where you've really got to drive it.
It's really good. The roll racing events, because you think it would just be so easy. You roll around the corner and then accelerate. And it's just not, it's not that simple. There is so much that goes into it, and quite often you end up with such a close race out of it.
And I even think, even just the fact that we're in such hotter temperatures, you had to drive the cars differently.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I had to drive my car way differently to how I drove it the first time, because as I got speed up and my intake temps dropped from the intercooler, I'd get a heap of power.
Yep.
Where last time I had that sort of more linear power curve. It was, you basically heat soak in the line waiting to go,
Yep.
you cool down in the first quarter of the run, then you get some power at the end. Your thing must have been struggling. I don't know. I don't know how it did so well.
Yeah, it was, I think at 7 p.m. it was still 30 or 31 degrees at night. And it was humid, so not good temperature for performance cars. So it was surprising in every way.
I'm going to have to say that night was a win for Team S62. It did so bloody well. The 39, probably one of the oldest cars there, apart from maybe a couple of the old Skylines.
Yeah,
and the really old cars.
That have new engines in them, yeah.
Yeah, it just really impressed everyone. My takeaway from that night was that A45S. Like, you just shouldn't have been there.
Can't believe that, yeah.
He would have no traction issues.
No, they're in the threes, 0 to 100 k's an hour. Plus, you know, perfect gearbox for those gear changes, where I got them rowing an old, sort of worn out Bush's manual, and yeah, that blew me away, that one.
There's one thing to be said, we've both got a lot of prep to do for the next one, which I think they've said is in about a month's time.
Christ.
So hopefully you can get a bit more power. Your chassis is okay for now.
Yeah, it'll do.
Maybe some new tyres.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm going to get those.
We'll see.
I'm going to get the, what are they called? What's the subframe?
Inserts?
The subframe bush is done. Shane's promised me we're going to have the diff brake. We said that last time, but hopefully we've got the diff brakes for the next rolls. We've got some stronger axles, and I may have just accidentally bought some huge tyres for it as well. So we'll see if they fit in an upcoming video.
He's prepared.
All right, guys, look. Yeah, well, I can't have it that close. This thing is quick. Oh, and man, it's such a fun car to drive. I am so looking forward to driving it with a tune, because I haven't been in it yet. In fact, you haven't driven it.
I haven't driven it on the road either, no.
He's literally just taken it off the trailer.
It's been a busy week already.
All right, guys. Look, thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you thought down below. Let us know what you think I need to do to make sure he doesn't actually get these W's all the time.
And vote below which one you're rooting for.
Yeah, dude. S62 pulled it out right at the end of 2020.
Love it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.